Hello everyone, it's James Sawaski here, USCF expert. Um, just another one of my game collections, going over all my games to kind of preserve the moment, share them with you, but also share them with myself. Someday I'll be 90 and I'll probably look at this video and laugh, but um, just to capture some of the highlights of what happened. So in case I forget, here's kind of a memory. This tournament here was my first rated tournament, even though I have a rating of 1403. That's actually the rating I ended up with at the end of this tournament, which I was very happy about at the time. It did drop into the 1300s for a while, but coming out of that, a 1400 at the beginning of your life, I guess you would say. I was 14 years old at this time, so 1400 was quite the achievement back then. Um, this tournament was organized by my chess coach, Stu Owinga, and it was in Escanaba, Michigan. It was at Bay College. We played in what ended up being the bookstore later on. It was just kind of like a spare room, and then it became the bookstore for many years. And of course, it's not that anymore. Structurally, I haven't been to that spot in decades, so I don't know what's still there. I know the building is still there, but I don't know what its function is. Bay College has really grown in 30 years, so it's hard to say what's where and how and remodeled and not remodeled. But it was a decent sized room. This was in July of 1985, and I want to say somewhere in the middle, like maybe the 17th ish or something like that. And it was super hot. I remember everybody was struggling with the heat. It was extremely hot. Uh, um, my first opponent was a man named David Burris. Now, oddly enough, there's two David Burrises in the USCF database, and their names are like identical. Um, but one is from, they might even both be from Michigan or something strange like that. But um, this David Burris was kind of a thick-built guy. He had blonde curly hair at the time. Looked like he was military type of guy, guy who served in the military. Um, strong and bulky strong, and very nice guy though. I only seen him play like one other time, and I think he came up to Noggin in '86 or '87 or something. I seen him, and then I don't think I ever seen him ever again ever after that. So I don't know what happened, but pretty solid player. And as you can tell, he's 1700, so I was a beginner, and we had a Carol Con, and of course, I'm playing this third move here. Of course, had no idea this was the Carol Con at the time. Um, Actually, Bobby Fischer played. This is the two knights defense to the Carol Con, and Bobby Fischer played this quite a bit in his youth. Um, so I'm treading down some good stuff here, and this push is actually not the greatest. Um, White, black is saying I'm going to push you around, but what's supposed to happen is we're supposed to whoops, not there. It's supposed to come to uh, E2 and then go from there. It's pretty good. So we're stuck. So I'm just going to fix that at the end. So I came, knight to E2 would be the better move, but for some reason I went back to uh, knight to B1, and that's very bad. I mean, you move your knight out, he pushes pawn, you move it back. In a sense, I gave him a free move. He came and pinned right away, and I stopped the pawn, and he solidifies his center. Nothing fancy, and I kicked the bishop out, which is probably the right thing to do here. I'm sitting okay, develop. This move right away, probably not so great. It's not a killer, but these squares are loosening up here, and the queen coming out is definitely gonna pose a problem uh, down the road, and um, you know, uh, we got those kind of squares, and then the queen starts attacking here, can start attacking here. I can't develop that bishop so well. So this type of move here is not really the best. Now he puts his bishop there. Not sure how good that is. I think he's looking more at potential of you know, and then the bishop will open up later. So it's a potential type of move. If I kind of just play bishop to e2 and castle right away, I'll be all right. But I went with uh, with a quick pin, and I'm developing my piece and pinning that knight. So the knight wasn't dangerous, but uh, black's got a simple solution. We'll just bring the other knight over, and if you take, we'll be fine. Knight to d2, pulling this defender off. Probably not good, and I think black is correct here in taking this pawn and making a weakness. We got a weak pawn on c3 now. Nothing's guarding it. Uh, um, black is going to put the question to the bishop right away, and of course I didn't really want to trade a bishop for a knight. And now he comes, nice attacking move there. He's heading for the bait. Well, it's not bait because there's no trap there, but he's heading for his prey. Prey would be a better word. Um, and so I pushed up, and my thought at the time was, oh look, I'm defending this pawn, and oh, if he takes it, here like this, then my pawn will take back, and life will be good. Well, he did do that, but for some reason I got sidetracked, and then I went with an attacking move, which isn't the worst thing in the world either, but black liquidates quite logically, you know, and we're down to this position, and black's in good shape here. You look at how his pieces are developed, um, you know, those boys are all very well developed. His king, can queenside castle, can kingside castle, lots of mobility. And then, on top of it, I think he's up 2 pawns here. So, it's just looking good. And then I exchange a piece, which, when you're down, you can't do that. But hey, I was only 14, so you gotta cut him some slack. And I think that's a little bit of a trap too. If if he had for some reason gone knight takes, okay, then I would have grabbed this bishop right here like that. So I think that's what I was going for, tricks a little bit, but 1700 it wasn't going for anything like that. So develop my bishop. That's probably one of the better moves there. 8 queenside castles, kingside castle, knight up. Okay, nice attacking move. Even if I take his bishop, he's going to take mine. And he's got this ugly pawn here. This guy right here is just a menace to my position. Okay, that guy's he's looking to make his way in, and that's like Yasser Serouan would say, a bone in the throat. And it's like if you eat fish and you get a bone stuck in your throat, it's how annoying that kind of stuff can be. So I backed it off. He backed his bishop off, and now I'm just challenging for that file. I'm essentially just dead lost here, but I'm a kid, and of course, I didn't know I was dead lost, and now black is taking control of that position, and I just kind of make a simple move, but my f2 was weak. Rook over. Um, that's not a bad move, you know. Rook up. I'm going to try to double if I can, make some threats, but he's not having any of that. And back over, attacking move, back in, and then, you know, this just leads to a bad combination because, you know, with this attack here, he's also threatening there, and this pawn right here is pinned. There's no moving it because this bad boy here has the check. So, bang, 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 and I knew at this stage time to give up. I'm just crumpled. You know, I'm down a full rook and a bunch of pawns, and going to be more pawns, and that was that. So, this, you know, it just it's hard to look at these games now because it's, you know, like 30 some years ago, and I was just a kid and whatnot. But um, you know, I remember playing that game, and I remember being super nervous. I mean, super nervous. Chess was essentially life back in those days, and especially when you're young and you really enjoy it. And so, super nervous, super this, super that, and you know, young Jim Sawaski come across a good, solid chess player at the time, and he beat me pretty well, pretty solid. Didn't really put up that much of a fight here. Opponent was just a lot better than me at that time. You know, maybe someday, you know, you never know. Maybe this guy will start playing chess again and get a second chance at him or something. But these are probably one of these opponents where one and done. You know, I got to play him once and I lost, and probably never get another shot at him again. But it's the first game. So that concludes my first rated game ever, and we'll see you in the next video.